90% of the men that are married in this room, I don't care how much you tell me she is your best friend, I bet you don't tell her everything. Don't you look at me funny, I dare you. I bet you don't tell her everything. You know you don't tell her everything because you know what will happen if you do. If you told her everything, you know what, women, if you knew what we were thinking when you lay up in the middle of the night and say, what you thinking about? In the book, I tell you why we say nothing. Come on, guys, you got to come out the closet tonight because I'm coming for you tonight. I'm coming for you tonight. I'm coming for you tonight. We say nothing because you couldn't handle it. And maybe you could, but we don't know for sure. And maybe when we tried you, you didn't know it was a test. And you could flunk our test and never know it was a test. The greatest compliment that God gives about virtuous women, when he talks about the proverbial woman, and he talks about who can find a virtuous woman, down in the text it says the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, that he has no need of spoil. But when a man talks about trusting a woman, he doesn't mean what you mean. When a woman talks about trust, she's talking about infidelity. Because she don't want to know, do you pay your taxes? She doesn't want to know your credit report. She doesn't want to know if you are a murderer or a rapist or a serial killer. She wants to know, have you ever cheated? Come on, girls, let's be real. The girl just wants to know, do you cheat? You can rob banks, just don't cheat. Because when a woman says to another woman, you can't trust him, she generally means he cheats. But when the Bible says that the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, it's not talking about his body trusting her, it's talking about his heart trusting her, because we are about our hearts the way you are about your bodies. I want to know, are you safe to love? I want to know, can I trust you with love? I want to know, if I tell you my secrets, will you respect me in the morning? Am I the only man in here? Where are my brothers at? I want to know, if I tell you what it was really like to grow up in my house, will you not act funny when we go to the family reunion? Or will you sit up there with your lips all swole up and create a problem for me because you can't control your emotions? And I want to know that if I tell you what really happened in the house, will you, in a fit of anger, turn on me and use what I told you in a moment of weakness against me? Because if you do that, you're telling me that I cannot trust you. And you teach me to shut up. Every time you betray my trust, you seal in me another layer of silence. And when I scream, I die screaming, and you can't hear me, and you never know why I died, because you taught me not to talk to you when you use my talk against me.
Happy Monday. Greetings, salutations, everybody. I'm your host, Dean Hearn. Welcome to the show. Won't be a long one today because I got a late start. It's been a crazy week. You guys were watching TD Jake speak about something that has been on my mind, and we had a panel last week at the church I serve at, and I was on it, and I witnessed a few things. And some of the things I saw, I knew I was going to see. And some of the things I saw was kind of new to me. I mean, wow, I'm always learning something new these days. We'll get to that. It was just very interesting, and we're going to cover that. We're going to have some fun tonight. We won't be long. I know preachers say that all the time. I'm not going to be before you long. The only way I'll be long is if you guys, the interaction. But the show I have prepared is not that long. So we're going to get right to it. First things first, over the weekend, I had a great time. I actually went to go see this movie, and I think you should go see it too. Creed 3, actually, man. Now, funny story. Rocky 3 came out the same day Poltergeist came out. I know I'm showing my age, but Poltergeist came out. Rocky 3 came out. Funny thing is, Poltergeist, the scary movie, didn't bother me. I stayed there, ate the popcorn with my father, my brother, and my sister, and I was okay. Rocky 3 came on, and I walked out the theater because I was scared. Something about the slowing down punching thing, I just couldn't get over it. So when Creed 3 came out, I didn't tell Tammy that my heart was racing. It was actually racing. It's like do 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 do, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm so freaking nervous," because I didn't think it was gonna slow down, and it's always bothered me. But anyway, the movie was not about boxing. I'm not going to tell you what the movie was about because I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. But it was a good movie. In fact, it was so good that Creed 3 actually fared better than 4 of the Rocky movies. It fared better than Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, and Rocky Balboa. The only movie that did better than Creed 3 in the whole Rocky series was Rocky, the original one, and the original Creed, which is weird. It has grossed over $100 million over one weekend. The movie is doing very well. But some people, they see Michael B. Jordan, they say, oh, he's corny, he's this. This is a big fiasco. I'm not going to get into the fiasco about him being corny because good guys are always deemed to be corny. But then when I saw this, I said, Lord Jesus. Somebody says Michael B. Jordan is cute, but doesn't have any edge. He just looked, I don't know, responsible. He looked like he know where his birth certificate is. I couldn't believe what I was saying because I'm like,
what?
You know, what are you talking about? So being responsible is something you don't want in somebody you're in a relationship. Being responsible is something you don't deem to be something that's attractive to you. I know some of you all like the Scallies, you like the Madden Kings, you like the Scallywags, and even some of you even like the Dusties. But my thing is, Michael B. Jordan has always carried himself to be pretty decent. I mean, you haven't heard any stories about him. You haven't heard him dealing drugs or anything like that. You haven't heard anything negative about Michael B. Jordan, but somehow this woman, and in the comment section, I keep telling you, go to the comment section. That's where you find the gold. That's where you know what people really think, because people, for some reason, are more honest online in the comment sections than they are when they see you in person. And some of the things they were saying, yeah, he kind of boring. He seemed like he'd be a kind of lame. And then, the praise to Lori Harvey. That's why she dumped him. I just can't get people's mindset these days. I just can't understand. Now, I hate it. Love me a corny and responsible man. And I get that. I absolutely get that, Vicky. And you should. Those make the best mates. The man, of course, those Scallies and those Madden Kings, they can smash. But I would want somebody like Michael B. Jordan. Somebody that's responsible about their business, that is successful and looking to settle down. You just can't make this shift up. You just can't make it up. I just don't understand why they've been going at him. So this morning while I was doing payroll, I had the honor of watching one of the most, I would say eclectic is the word I would use. Different, weird. I wouldn't say weird. Some of y'all overuse that word, but it was different. Chris Rock actually did a live show on Netflix, where he went in on a few subject matters. So I have been seeing some of your comments. Some of your comments about him saying, oh, he was corny for the way he went at Will Smith. He was corny, he was corny, he was corny. Did I see what? No. Type it in. I haven't seen. I have been at work, Natalie, but type it in. But let me say this, and I mean this in all fairness. What Chris Rock did was actually genius. And you say, well, why? Let me explain. He could have fought back, and they would have looked like two fighting men on, and you know what would have happened, the backlash of that. But did you far worse than what that chick said? Oh, you can't make this up. Wow, Natalie. But check this out. He held, if you notice, Chris Rock didn't say anything. He didn't say much. You would have to go to his show or go to his live show where he kind of touched on it, but he didn't really stay on it. All the videos that I've been seeing that people have been posting has been Chris Rock kind of alluding to it, but not necessarily digging deep. You want to know why? I'll give you 40 million reasons why. Netflix gave this man a $40 million deal for 2 shows, one of which just happened. Instead of going to Oprah, instead of going to these daytime talk shows, he decided to say, no, on my own terms, I'm going to tell y'all how I felt on my own thing, saying it the way I want to say it, uncensored, uncut. That's a boss move to me. Because he has been wanting to say it what we all wanted him to say. I know I went live, talked about it. It was a whole show about it. And I was like, well, what's up? But it's a method to the madness. Some of us that's average earners, above average earners, or however you want to call it, something that we never will understand is how to be a boss. We want to say, let's fight. Let's do it this way. He said, no, pay me, and then I'll tell you how I felt. That's smart. You can call him corny and said he even said Will Smith is way bigger than him. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali. Did y'all see I don't know if y'all know how tall Will Smith really is. He's not a short dude. He's actually 6'3". 6'3" is tall. So why would he risk fighting on TV and getting his aspirations beat? And now he has to go back and with some more wounds. That wouldn't have been a good fight. That's why Will Smith actually did that. Because we all have said it. If it was The Rock or anybody else, he would not have walked up there. He chose the right person. And Chris Rock said, okay, I'm pissed. I'm mad. I want to tell my side of how I felt about it, but I want you to pay me for it. You gonna pay me. That was, I don't think y'all understand. This is chess, not checkers. That's checkmate. That I'm gonna go in on you and make $20 million doing it. How many of us, some of us, we'll do it for a chicken meal and a biscuit. This man got paid $20 million to do it. And some of you said it was corny, it was lame, it wasn't even funny. Let me explain this to you, then we'll go to Preachers Gone Wild. Let me explain this to you. There are different levels of comedy. And I know some of us, that's why some of them other comics, comedians I don't really care for, they too goofy. They all that crazy stuff. That doesn't get me. I like the witty kind of, people that say things in their whole little shindig or whatever little spiel here. And I look at them and I'm like, you know what? That is funny. It's funny because you can see it making sense. Dave Chappelle is a master of that. I really didn't laugh at the last Dave Chappelle thing, but I was thoroughly entertained. And the same held true for this Chris Rock thing. He's pushing controversial statements and he's saying those things. Kevin Hayden kind of reminds me of this. That's the kind of humor he has, where he can say some things and we'll laugh or whatever, but you go back and think and say, whoa, he was actually making a point. Some of you don't, may not like his content, but I appreciate, respect that kind of level to be able to entertain you, because what we do here, it has to be entertaining to get you to watch. But now that we get you to watch, we can talk about these things and we can make it funny. I got a whole freaking segment called Preachers Gone Wild. We make fun, we laugh, but at the end of it, you say, oh wait, that actually does make sense. That's perfect comedy. It's different levels of comedy. It's different levels. Self-deprecation is a different level of comedy. That would be Richard Pryor. People that do skits. People that do, it's so many levels. And so many people miss that because we so busy want to laugh and be goofy. And that's fine too. You like that kind of comedy. I'm not coming at you, but don't denigrate other people who do other comedies. And they said, well, it was in Baltimore. It was in Baltimore. So I don't think y'all understand Baltimore is mostly us. At least in the audience that I saw, it was a lot of us. And he actually went in on Will Smith, maybe the last 7 minutes. It was, it was a roast. It was nasty. You might want to go watch it. He had his say. Woo! He had his say. He had more than his say. You need to go watch that. That was, man, these lights is killing me, but man, listen, I'm going to do my preacher rag right now. My preacher rag. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But not as crazy as this.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
All right. Look, Doofus of the Week is starting to get out of control. I've seen this story. I'm not sure if it's cap or not. But if it's not cap, I've heard of a couple of people that have been to these kinds of things. In doing what I do, talking to different men, different backgrounds and all this, I run into some of the wildest stories. Like, we're going to talk about the sex part, ladies, and the panel that I was on. But they do talk about sex. And one of the things they go to it's called the glory hole. Do y'all know what the glory hole is? Some of you ladies probably don't know what the glory hole is, but it's the thing called the glory hole. And the glory hole, it took on a totally different thing for this lady right here because the woman gives brother oral sex through a hole and is blaming U.S. dating site wildsmash.com. This woman actually went to the glory hole, gave a man a BJ, and it turned out to be her brother. You listen, where you at, Kevin?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
You can't make this up. You know you got to be on something really different to go to a glory hole and give your brother a BJ. And I wonder how that was on Thanksgiving, assuming that this happened before Thanksgiving or whatever thing. I mean, you in church, you sitting next to him like, I can't believe I tasted your babies. I mean, how can you, listen, how do you make this up? That's why my sign says be happy. You can't make this up. And this is actually going to stay because this segment, I actually post the weirdest and craziest thing you ever see. But let's get serious for a second. Because you have to be the dumbest person in the world to do what this next person did. This next person, Ja Morant, who I actually respect as a basketball player, did the dumbest thing you could possibly do, and I'm not going at him. I'm sure he has his reasons, but the thing you did is dumb. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm saying the thing. I'm trying not to call people stupid. I'm trying to call people not stupid, you know. But he did something stupid. This was dumb. He actually took a gun and posted it on IG. He had a gun and brandished it on IG. Now, according to this article that I found, you are not allowed to bring a weapon on the team plane. That's a minimum sentence of 50 games. 50. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but Memphis is actually the second seed in the Western Conference. And this man is the reason why. He has been balling out. He's been phenomenal this whole year. But for him to do something this stupid, to cause his team to perhaps miss the playoffs, it's got to be by far the dumbest thing you could possibly do. And I'm going to slow this down. What is this attachment to thug culture in our young black men? I mean, you didn't even grow up in the hood. Your parents both were married, took you to a private school. You was like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but you want to be the Malibu most wanted now. I can't understand. Y'all think I hate LeBron, and I really don't. This could have actually been on my sports show, which I'll be doing. I should do it. But this man, LeBron, is a perfect role model of what you want to be. He has achieved success. He's come through some of the worst environments. I don't know if y'all ever been to Akron. It's not necessarily the suburbs out there. And he's actually doing things the right way. You're not hearing scandals on LeBron James. You're not hearing anything negative about LeBron James outside of the fact of his game, which is all fair play. I got a few things happening over here, Vicky. So why not follow that example? Type it in the comment section. I'm reading it. What is the thing with the dang on thug culture? Maybe because you know some of these women like it, but that's short-lived. Thugs end up in one of two ways, either in jail or under the ground, in Sheol, Hades, or whatever you want to call it, in Abraham's bosom. I'm not in love with this. I think somebody should reach out to him. I think he should definitely sit down with somebody. Get rid of all of that, man. It's not long-lasting. You have a great career ahead of you, and you are living in the midst of a great career. Don't mess it up by doing stupid stuff like this. Amen, lights and walls. And I agree with you, Natalie. Some of these people, they actually do that. They're more interested in that. Well, I want to, man, my dude, man. No. Those dudes, they're not going to visit you in jail. They're just not. It's just stupid. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. But anyway, Preacher's Gone Wild is 62. And those of you who go to Powerhouse and other churches, you know children sometimes want to get involved in service. Well, this child decided to get involved in service in a different way. Check it out.
Jeremiah 8, verse 20. I'm going to read verse 21 as well. It says, the harvest is past. Yeah, got a mic. Well, come on, help me preach then. Praise his holy name. I thought God was talking. I didn't know. Okay, Lord, I'll submit whatever you want. Have your way, Lord, whatever you want to do. Amen. I'll submit, Jesus. Amen. Amen. You know, he'll come in all kinds of forms, you know. The harvest is past.
Pause. You come in many forms. Now, can I ask a question? Why did this child have a mic? Let me ask my praise and worship leaders and praise and worship team. Do you turn your mics off when you go to your seats? Was there ever a time when you kept your mic on and you wish you hadn't? When I saw that, I was like, wait, the baby said something. Maybe it could have took the church up. I would let my baby talk so we can shout and get up out of church. You know, because, hey, let's roll, because I promise you, I think, Vicky, you have children. I'm not sure who else is on here. Natalie, you have children. But if your child get up in the mic, let them speak in tongues and let the church service blow up. I promise you, I'm going to start. We going to go. But this was kind of wild, because would you have stopped? If you was the preacher, would you have stopped? Would you have stopped the service for that, or would you just kept going? Most of us would have kept going. But I'm going to bring the most important thing that you might have missed. What was going on with this backdrop? What was going on with this backdrop? You know, what most of us, we've moved to LED screens and every lights and cameras and poles on the side. What was going on with the backdrop, my boy? Let's address that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What up, Scrutinize? What's going on, man? Yeah, that backdrop was a little different. Now, maybe we're spoiled of where I'm at. Maybe. But see, let me ask you this. Mr. Obnoxious, he actually does, you know, he goes and finds the stories that we like. Wow, where did you get that from? And I'm not knocking him. He's a content creator. Go do your thing, bro. Keep doing it. But your story has made it to Preachers Gone Wild. He said a photo of this praise and worship leader was taken in Las Vegas. So is it appropriate for a woman this supposed to usher you into the presence of God to look like this even on her own time? Right? The outfit is a lot, huh? Wow. Her outfit is a lot. Oh, is a lot, no matter the occupation. Man, the commas would have helped us. But especially not the minister. Minister. Let's throw an I in there. All right. I don't know. Wow. Y'all help me out if this should ever be my thing. If I misspell something or you see a typo, man, put the stars up. I don't have a problem with the grammar police. But anyway, let's see what she looked like when she was in Las Vegas. She got the kazumbas out. We see that. And wow, this is a praise and worship leader. Obviously, she's not married because we don't see a ring or anything and no man in the picture. Maybe she isn't. I don't know. But if this is your praise and worship leader, is it appropriate for her to look like this? Is that appropriate dress, even though she's on her own time? Is that something you think a praise and worship leader should show to the world? You think when she goes out to Las Vegas, which is already called Sin City for a reason, they don't call it Sin City for nothing, but you in Sin City and you're dressed in this way with your kazumbas hanging out and the split up to Kingdom Come and the glory, the ultimate glory. Is this appropriate for your praise and worship leader? Tell me yes or no. Tell me yes or no. Miss Lynn says he doesn't. This is too much. She ain't saved. Scrutinize. You never cease to amaze me. I'm gonna wait for somebody else to comment before I give what I think. And not that it matters because I'm just a lonely musician. It really doesn't matter. But I want to see what somebody else thinks. Do you think that's too much? I wouldn't have thought twice about it. Maybe it was her birthday. Okay. Yes, Shanette says it was too much. Let me say this. And it leads me to my next point. Should I do it now? Let's watch something else, and then we'll get to it. Here we go. Maybe I should have the sound on. Hold on.
And she let me know that I really didn't want to be famous.
All right, let's try that again.
One of my dear friends who have gone on to be with the Lord, praise God. And she was so famous. And she let me know that I really didn't want to be famous. Was Whitney Houston, right? She was my dear sister and friend, and I remember she was about to do one of her big videos, and it was "I'm Every Woman." It's a great video, right? Really nice. Good. The song is, when you think about how it was written, it's a great song, right? But the lyrics don't line up with the word of God, right? So she knew, she said, "Cece, I want you to be in this video, but I know you're not going to be in it." I said, "You're absolutely right." Because it started off with, "I could cast a spell." I'm not singing that. But notice how that message was all wrapped up in the beat, right? Y'all get so hooked onto these beats, and it's like demonic. You're listening to demonic stuff, and you wonder why you don't know what's going on, right? You can't listen and look at everything. God said, "You're either for me or you're against me. You're either with me or you're not." The biggest deception is the devil make you think it's an in-between. Show me a scripture that says there's an in-between. There is no in-between, guys. So a lot of stuff is cut out. Y'all worried about stuff that shouldn't even be in your life. Because it says you're either for me or you're against me. So she was like, "I know you're not." I said, "No, you're right. It's cute, though. Cute video." But then she called me back for Count on Me. She's like, "Sis, I got the song." I was like, "This is great. Friendship, this is going to work." Because it lines up with my faith. You see, I'm a believer first. I'm a believer who happens to sing.
I agree with Cece Winans. And it's unfortunate that she received a lot of backlash for it, for saying this. I think this is actually an old video. I don't think this is recent. I could be wrong. But when she said it, When I saw it, I said, okay. If you have your Bibles, I want you to visit Revelation. I think is it the 13th chapter? It's one of those chapters where Christ was talking about you're neither hot or cold. You know, you're lukewarm, basically. I'm paraphrasing. And he spit you out your mouth, out his mouth. It's not warm, it's not hot. It doesn't give you the benefits of like tea and coffee. It's not cold, so it doesn't necessarily quench your thirst after playing basketball. But let me explain this to you. 2021, that's what I thought, Natalie. Thank you. This is why I had a problem with what the praise and worship leader did. She can do whatever she wants to do on her time. That's her time. But what does it represent when your praise and worship leader is dressing like those people who are carrying on in a way that's not necessarily indicative of the life that they say they should live? What representation are we giving to those who may look at you and say, look, I just saw you in Sin City. You was dressed like a strumpet like the rest of us. We are supposed to represent something different. We are supposed to represent. Do you know what sanctify means? Do you know what a saint is? It means set apart. Set apart from everything else. You are different. You are a peculiar people. So if you're doing everything else everybody else is doing, so how can you then call yourself peculiar? Peculiar. Ugh, I hate that word. Peculiar. I can spell it. It's what you represent to the world that we are supposed to be the light in. And I'm thinking this way. Christ said, either you're for me or you're against me. He left no room for gray. The problem is with us, we shifted to the gray. We want to make it a gray area when Christ said it wasn't. You either for me or you are against me. You cannot be for me and then say, I'm going to do everything they do, and then you just going to accept it, because it's gray area here. And this is the one thing, and I think I expressed this earlier when I was on the conversation with somebody, and I said, look, when we talk like this, and even though preaching going wild is fun, but I'm being serious right now. When we talk like this, some of you say we're deep. You're being too deep. You're being too deep. Oh, y'all deep. You deep. The Bible is clear. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. If you are talking about wrestling against spirits, and some of the highest spirits sometimes, is that not? That's in the Bible that we all claim to follow. If that's not deep enough for you, or that's like cut and dry. The problem is we want to remain blinded to the spiritual realm of the battle that's actually going on, and we want to look at the flesh. So you want us to battle the flesh and just totally forget that it is a spiritual thing because it makes you feel uncomfortable, because you want to dwell in the area of gray, the many shades of gray. There is a war going on. And you cannot see it. Because one of the biggest things that the devil will do is put blinders on your eyes and make everything look like it's okay when it's not. So those people who tell you maybe you shouldn't go to a Beyonce concert because of the symbolism, you saying get off Beyonce, y'all some haters and y'all too deep. Maybe they're not too deep. Maybe they see what you refuse to. Maybe they see things in this light that you refuse to even open your eyes and see. And Christians, the devil doesn't have to work really hard. The devil is unified. The demons know what they're doing. We're the ones that's all over the place fighting about stuff like Beyonce concerts and what people wear. I mean, granted, even that picture, if she was with her man or whatever, as her man, I still would be like, baby, that's a little bit much. You know, that, come on now, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's represent something higher. But that's just me. I mean, have we forgotten what we supposed to represent, people? I'm not telling you go out here and not have fun. I like music too. I like to have a good time too. But we are supposed to represent something else. They're not supposed to feel comfortable around you. If they can drink and smoke and do lines and and do everything around you, something is wrong. Back in the day, they used to be like, man, they should not feel comfortable around you. That's what they used to love that. Now, I didn't like the way that they did browbeating and say, you're going to hell. I didn't like that part of it. But yeah, some of that is right. They should not feel comfortable doing some of the things and behaving some of the ways around you. But we become so grayed, that grayed out area that we want to live in now, that they can think they can just do everything in your presence and it's okay. There is no way I'm going to sit and watch a concert of somebody putting somebody on the cross and singing some of the most vile lyrics. There is no way I'm going to sit through that and be okay. Oh, that was nice. I just can't understand that. So I don't know. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I just see this thing differently. I'm not trying to beat you over the head. That's not what I'm about, but I just want us to see things differently. Don't beat up on Christians because they calling out something that they should. If I go to a concert and they got a picture of a zombie walking around killing people and killing Christians and saying this with crosses upside down, and they say, here's the song, it's in B flat. And I'm like, yeah, that's dope. You're gonna look at me like, wait, bro, what? To me, that's no different than you want to defend some of the stuff that we've been defending. Cece Winans was absolutely right. The song opens up with, I cast the spell. Now, let me leave you. We about to move on. I don't want this to be long, but let me leave you this. I saw the most disturbing thing, and I can't even load it up. It's in my phone. Maybe I'll share it when I get off. Pause. This child came in the room. I work in childcare, and sometimes I have to be in the room with the after school kids. You know, until their parents pick them up, they do their homework. I kind of let them do their thing, right? So one of the young ladies, she's around 9. She came and showed me a book. And the book was supposed to be funny, a Disney movie. But this book, let me see if I can find it. No, dear, get off the base, not you. This book is actually called Ma's Spell Book. It's called a spell book. It's a book, and this looks like, I can't show you, maybe you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a book like that. It's got a picture on it. And let me read you what it says. It's a spell in here that says invisibility spell. Y'all think this is a game. It's invisibility spell. When the fragments from a broken amulet, whatever, mix sand from a beach, walk by giants, grind the elements with a mortar and pull, bringing a fine dust, come cast the dust in front of you, sending torch. This is in a kid's book. A book of spells. And y'all think this is something to play with? I physically took this picture. This is nothing I got from a newspaper or an article. I physically took pictures of this book. What up, Larry? So you think this is a game, people? Because people are sounding the alarm saying, hey, you need to open up your spiritual eyes and see what's going on. We're not telling you not to like Beyonce. We're not telling you that you can't collab with an R&B artist. But you need to have your eyes open to see what's going on. These people are not on the same page with you. You think your light's shining with them? No. They have been blinded. Their eyes are taken out. They are blinded by glamour, by riches, by fame. They're not interested in what you got to say because why? You want to hang with me. You want to spend my money with me. You want to get where I'm at. So what are you trying to proselytize for me for? This thing is not a game, people. It's not a game. But keep playing. Have fun. Let me know how that works for you. That's all I want us to do. I don't like the going to hell stuff like that, even though we haven't heard any of those messages in a long time, at least not on the major set. The smaller churches, they still go hard. Pause, but not really. But the larger churches, they really don't delve into it. And I understand why. I mean, it's different modes of preaching and everything else. But all I want, if you learn nothing else from this, is to be careful. Open your eyes. Don't be so blinded by your fandom that now you can't understand. And this is a demon sitting right on your back like, hey, what's up, my boy? And demons, here's the thing that's crazy. The demons, I said this earlier, demons don't attack the body of people they need to be alive. The devil is not attacking your body if you're doing his bidding. That would be stupid. He's not going to attack your body if you are doing his bidding. If you are on here pressing, saying, hey, it's okay to listen to this music. It's okay to go to these shows. It's okay to do what they do and hang out with what they hang out. Why would he need to attack your body? He needs you alive. You're probably going to live to 190 because you drawing other people away from what they're supposed to be doing. But the second you start saying, oh, I'm going to do this right, or I'm going to live and I'm going to use my platform to press this gospel towards somebody else and help them out, oh, that's when you're going to get attacked. The devil don't need to attack you right now. You're doing his bidding. Amen. Likes. Let's move on. All right. Whew, I was passionate about that, but I am. I don't like to see us just willfully ignorant on this stuff. And I don't even think you ignorant. I just think you're just so starstruck that you just miss a lot of things. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And it shouldn't be that way. Amen, lights and walls. And where my friend at? Do I have to get one? Oh, no, where you at? I keep missing them. Oh.
I ain't hear no amen, but I ain't wanting any.
I don't want no amen.
Hellfire.
Hellfire. Well, anyway, last week I did a panel. And it was fun. I love being on panels. I love teaching. I love talking about different subjects. I found a new passion talking to different men about things that they go through with dating and relationships and stuff like that. I don't consider myself a relationship expert. I would never call myself that. But I do know men. I talk to a lot of men. I hear what they say. I share what they say. And I try to convey that to an audience, and hopefully that, somebody can take what I say and use it and maybe get better results. That's what I do. I do talk to women. I've been talking to a lot more women. It's very interesting. Women, you guys, especially lately, I love the fact that you communicate more. And some of you definitely, you pull no punches. You like, look, I don't want them short. I don't want them this. I don't want them broke. Woo. We gonna get into that. That broke word is a trigger word for me. But I want you guys to check this out, because women, we've heard you. You speak a lot. You got a lot of daytime talk shows. But what happens when men speak? Why are men deemed to be horrible communicators? Saw this video. Check it out.
Communication is seen as weak from us. Right. Because when we try to open up to y'all, that's one, seen as weak. But then two, when we do open up and become vulnerable, a lot of times we get shut down. So we just quit off the rip. Like, a lot of men are like one and done. We learned the first time and we out. Like, right. So going forward, I don't want this feeling no more. You didn't invalidate my feelings. Fuck it. Whatever you say, cool. I'm just going to let it ride because I want to lay next to you at night. I still want to keep this peace. So I'm going to take these three, 4, 5.
I want that ass. And let's just be honest, there's consequences. But when I tell your ass that pasta didn't taste, it wasn't hitting this time like it normally is.
Well,
now you mad.
Fucking cooked it.
Exactly. Or why don't you get your mama to come cook? Shit like that. Is why.
Hey, the facts is facting.
See what I'm saying? So how can a motherfucker feel a safe space, using your words, to communicate if that's what we got to deal with when we communicate?
So y'all saw that. You saw her reaction when he said what he said. It was met with a lot of pushback from the ladies. He said, well, why don't you cook it then? I don't think that's the wow. And I did notice that how the men went straight to the sex, and we're going to get to that point. And we covered this before on this show, but never like this. Never like this. This is going to be very interesting, because right after that, I saw this post that you guys have been sharing, and I'm not sure if I shared it, but I'm going to share it right now. This post says, this man texted me, thank you for showing me what it feels to be loved. I can't wait to make you my wife someday. It's blank shift like that makes me want to cheat. Some people say she wasn't serious. She was just doing this for clout or whatever, whoever posted it or whatever. I don't worry about all that. I go straight to the comment section because I want to see what you are saying. Because like I said before, a lot of people will definitely, be more honest when they are online. So when I saw it, the comments actually agreed with this. Nobody want no weak man. Even when I was on a panel and the men started to speak, it was a couple of people in the comment section because I really didn't say much. It was you're going to see, it was a lot going on we're going to get into. But even on that, it was ladies in the comment section saying, "Ooh, they weak. Nobody want no man like that." Those men were expressing themselves, and in the comment section, somebody was in there being a negative Nancy. I could not believe the comments that I seen with this post. So, men, when we do communicate, how do you feel when you communicate? Men are not like you, ladies. When men feel like TD Jakes just told you, and it's absolutely true from the many men that I've spoken to, when they say something to you and you kind of give us that whatever, they mostly will shut down. They will give you short word answers or they won't bring anything to you. And it's unfortunate, but that's what really happens. Because some of you, not all of you, not even most, but some of you have said, "I don't care what he say, it's about me." You may not think you feel that way, but this is what you demonstrate to us because that's what we see. When we try to talk to you and then you just automatically, we try to tell you what we want and you automatically just, you in combative mode. You don't even want to hear what we got to say. It was weird. Check this out.
As a man, I talk to a lot of my boys. I know there are a lot of men out here who feel the same way, that we're told to communicate. But when we communicate how we feel, ooh, things get really tense in the house.
The same drill you be giving me, I wonder why you ain't taking in the same stuff you be telling me.
I don't go nowhere. But there's one time I go somewhere, then it's a problem.
I ain't tripping on you going out. I gave a about was the fact that I gotta find out through Snap all the things that you get mad at me about.
This happened one time,
You're right. So it's one time. Get mad at me because I'm acting like you.
Good night.
If I'm right, we end up in a fight.
Okay.
But if she's happy, I feel crappy. I'm just saying that I want emotional equity in the relationship. That's all I want.
So now you hear what was said. Let me say this. For most of the men that I've asked about this particular subject, they all feel this way. When we present something to, not all, please, not all, we know that. But when we present something to a lot of you, this is what we get, the pushback, that aggressiveness, that masculine, in some of you, that behavior. And that doesn't work for us, especially in a relationship. Because when we look at you, we want somebody, this is who we chose. We chose to be with you. And we want to be able to share and express ourselves to you without you belittling us and taking something we said, because it has happened to me where I shared something with them that was very, very, very deep to me. And later on in an argument, it was used to destroy me. I never forgot that. I didn't make the people who I dated later pay for that because that's not good to do either. But I never forgot that from that person because I was like, whoa, you could be this person, huh? To get a one-up on me. And the argument that we were having wasn't even a big deal. It could have been solved if when I expressed what I felt, you could have said, you know what? I hear you. Let's see if we can work this out. But that's not what was chosen. You chose violence. But anyway, I had the pleasure of being on a panel at the church I serve at. This is Bishop Hudson. I admire him. He's really, really good pastor to me. And we were on a panel last week, and we were covering love and relationships. The ladies went first on the Tuesday, and I never will forget it. Some of the things that they said on that panel. And you ladies, you have your standards and you make it known. I kind of feel like, to be honest with you, some of that stuff that was said, if a man said anything to that degree, and because we were really classy, but if we went there, oh yeah, it would have been really nasty. Why is that? Why is it that some of you feel like you can say some things about men, but the second we return fire, or we say something that we like, because we know you don't like broke men. We know you don't like short men. We know you love to call men below your standards. We do. But the second we say something like that, ooh, you get your head just spent. You get why? So the panel happened. Let's go to the theater. So the panel happened. And we're going to dig into some of the things that would say, I'm going to try my best. It was an hour. We're not going to do that. I condensed this way down. You know, I condensed the hour show, so we're going to do the best we can. I condensed it to like 12 minutes. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to show you some highlights of it. It was very interesting. I didn't say much because for a host of reasons, I'm not going to go there, but I didn't say much. I said a couple of things. But let's talk about it, and let's get going with it. Let's have some fun.
All right, so here we go. I'm opening up with a little thing that I read, and it says, women are more vocal about what they need and desire, but things that men want in a relationship remain a mystery more often than not. Men and women think differently. They behave differently and even want different things in a relationship. While women try to express themselves a lot, men reveal less. Thus, it becomes difficult for women to impress their men as they don't know what they like or what they dislike. So this is why we have these brothers here tonight to help us. And the views and opinions of each person is theirs, not the powerhouse and not mine, okay?
And the views expressed here are mine and my own and yours. This is our show. So we talk about these things here. But he's absolutely right in the reading that he's done. Bishop, he does his research, but he found this article or this book, and it was expressing what I've been saying here for almost a year and a half now, that a lot of you don't know what we want. And what we want in women in relationships remains a mystery to you. But I'm going to tell you why. It's not because we haven't been talking. It's not because we haven't been communicating. It's because a lot of you have not, you said, I don't want to hear you. It's about what I want. And so there's never been a platform on a national level. National, what I mean, like you got Sally, Jesse Raphael, you got Queen Latifah had her show that didn't last long. You had Wendy Williams. You had all these shows where they would take shots at men and talk about us from everything to our height to our male member size, where they would take shots at us. But we never had a platform on that level where men could actually come and talk about the stuff that matters to men. I mean, for crying out loud, even on our sports shows, we gotta watch what we say because it's a certain audience of people that will say, oh, you're being sexist. So men have never had a platform where we can actually speak about what we want. That's why it's a mystery to some of you, because you don't know. There is no shows. And the one time somebody actually got on YouTube and said some things, you couldn't take it. So you decided to link up with Derek Jackson and all these other panda bears that told you what you wanted to hear. And you never really received the results. Your outcomes were the same. Because Derek Jackson was never really telling you what men, honest men, everyday working average men were saying and what they needed from their women. You knew what you didn't want, and we know what you want. A lot of us, especially the ones that are smarter, we know exactly what you want. We've been hearing it our whole lives. But unfortunately, you have not heard what men want. And Bishop did a great job of bringing some men on in the attempt to try to help you understand what we want in relationships. Okay, let's continue.
Whatever they say is for them and their church and their business, okay? All right, let me get out of that real quick. So we want to help some single ladies, some married ladies, and men as well.
But Natalie, actually I do. I've actually been watching this show. I might do a live commentary. I can't do it on YouTube for a host of reasons. But I've been watching this show. It's been having my attention. And yeah, it's a lot of red flags that people were missing, but I do actually watch it. I mean, Tammy always says, why are you watching that? And she told me a story a few times about that. Why are you watching that? And why, oh, God, you into that. And I'm like, okay, this is what I've been watching lately. This is what I've been watching. But I'm more interested in it because I do want to know what you guys like. I do want to know what your love languages are. I do want to understand you. The problem is when we start talking, it's always pushback. But let's continue.
Prepare you to make your marriage and your single life and your relationships a lot better. So let's get started. All right. So who want this? Who want this? Pastor.
I'll go.
All right, Pastor Tika.
So I'm gonna be honest. I need, and we being real in here, right? So I need explosive sex. Like I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. So the question was asked, what is one thing that you do like from a woman? And what's one thing you don't like? What one thing you don't like? When it comes to me, I didn't post mine. I can share it. You've heard it if you watch my show. But yeah, that's what the question that was. That's the question that was asked. And Pastor TK is giving his what he needs and whatever he said. Sex. Let's continue.
I don't need. You know, I don't need obligatory sex. I don't need obligatory sex. This is my obligation. This is
obligatory. Put that on the screen. Type that in, everybody.
Obligatory.
Obligatory.
Right.
Obligation.
Obligation.
You didn't taught me a word. Come on here.
So they like to be a boss in the streets, but they like to be a timid in the sheets. So, and I'm a man of God, so I'm just being honest. So that's what I need. Like I don't need. We can't do the regular sex thing. We can't do that. And then something that I don't like is, well, I ain't gonna lie. If you handle that, I can get over a lot of other stuff.
Now let me stop. I love Pastor TK. He is one of the coolest dudes I have ever met, and he is a pastor, believe it or not. He was just keeping it 100. But younger pastors, they keep it more than likely they will keep it 100. I like him. I mean, in the most plausible way. And he was just expressing what he needs. Now, when he said with good sex, everything, I don't know, because believe it, with me, it's a little different. I like to feel a connection with you. And if I don't have that connection with you because we're beefing, I don't want to have sex with you. And then after release, I'm still feeling this way. And I felt like I've had sex with one of these poles or these lamps or whatever, these lights. I probably have a better time with them because if you're not really into it, because we're not in tune, we're not in a harmonious state, then it won't be good to me. I need to make sure we're good because I need that intimacy. I need you into it. But this is me. You know what I'm saying? With him, hey, as long as we doing that, we good. And that's cool. Okay, but he was just expressing the things he liked, okay? Let's continue.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm being honest. Sometimes some good sex will make something big seem so small. Man, we ain't got no money. Come here, let me tell you something. And then we forgot about the money. We eating Flaming Hots and drinking Kool-Aid, because we just tore each other down. So that's me.
Okay, so I see your comment about sex. Immediate turn off. Let me explain this to you. And it was crazy because I actually kind of agreed that with the sex talk, when I watched it again, and I had to watch it again when I did these edits, I did notice that the sex talk was just part of it. But you got to understand, men talk about sex. We think about sex. We wake up thinking about sex. Sex is on our mind during the day. Sex is on our mind during the night. And if you got somebody that you are really physically attracted to, you can't wait to get home to that person, assuming that you are married. But if you can't wait to get to this person, I'm not judging you if you're not. But if you want to be with this person, you're going to think about it. Men, we're going to think about it. We love sex. You cannot have a man discussion without talking about sex. It's just absolutely positively not going to happen. We're going to bring up sex one way or another because that's what we think. I even have stuff that I say here. I always, you know, the clapping of the cheeks. I always say, you know, different things, gazumbas, that, you know, that's my thing. So yeah, we talk about sex. And I'm like, whoa, so how much more do we talk about sex? When I did my research, I was flabbergasted. We talk about sex a lot more. Women desire sex little less because we have a higher level of libido, but still, women actually desire sex. It's not so, the gap is not so big. But the discussion about sex, men actually talk about sex a lot. We do. That's just what we do. So you want to have a male discussion without sex, you're not having a discussion. He's not keeping it 100. That's what we think about. I think you need to understand that. understand that's the nature of men. That's the way we are. Do I talk about sex a lot? Not really. Not like this. But I understand it. We do talk about sex. Okay, let's continue.
My God, my God. Hey, how do you make your man feel needed? How do you make your man feel valued? But whatever you want to say. Come on, my sister. Y'all turn the mic on.
Let me set the back. So Pastor TK actually, oh no, it wasn't TK. I think it was the other gentleman. He was a relationship coach. I can't remember his name. If you remember his name, type it in the comment section. What up, James? So he mentioned something about a side chick. And when I tell you, it opened up a can of worms, and I was like, oh, I knew it was gonna be one. I said this is about to go way left. And I actually checked out. Lady Hudson was in the comment section when I saw it. She actually laughed at my statement. I said, nah, I'm gonna step out on this one. But the young lady stood up and she had some things to say. Let's see what she has to say.
All right, all right. Y'all talk to me. I see Janetta Duckett said I need to cover my ears. Marcia said real and uncut. Okay, come on.
So I got a question for you. You said a side chick. So what happens when you get that side chick to be your woman? What you think she gonna do? That you saying side chick because you saying she desired, because you know that's what sad is, the ones that want to break up home. So I want to know what's your description of a side chick.
So I'll answer and then I'll let him comment on why the side chick wanting to break up our home is very inaccurate. So let me break that down. So when I talk about the side chick, I'm saying these women have a certain energy towards you. They're into you. They're prioritizing you. And so I don't want to have to. Now I'm saying no to everybody, but I don't want the person who I've said yes to not have energy. You into the kids, you into everything but the person that you stood at the altar and said you were going to be into. So that's my answer. And a lot of times for women, when we tell you our why, we get hit with a lot of, well, why do you feel that way? Why do you want me to pay bills? You know, this is what we want. We're telling you what we want and we're telling you why this is. So again, that's my answer.
Right, but then the side chick that you saying, oh, that she want this, she want that. What happens when you get with her, but then she sees something else that's better that she like, and she play you the same way that you was sitting there saying, oh, this side chick gonna do what my woman ain't gonna do. I want to know that.
I want to let him answer.
Wait, okay. So were you guys able to follow that? I think what she's saying is the side chick may find somebody else that's better than you. I think that's what she was alluding to. If that is, let me say this. I'm not for the side chicks. We've done a show on side chicks. I said then, I'm not for the side chicks, but side chicks do serve a purpose. Their purpose is to do exactly what they said. And here's the thing. It often leads to sex, but it's not all the time. Side chicks, they usually do what the main don't want to do. That's the nature of it. Am I saying it's okay? No, I'm not saying that. But they hardly, and the new ladies, they ain't even trying to get up with you like that either. To be honest with you, some of them have their own man. Shh. Some of them have their own man. So you get together and y'all do y'all thing and then y'all go home. That's what a side chick's job is, to go home. So side chicks, they serve a purpose. And yeah, I think it gets complicated because somebody's going to catch feelings. And most of the time, it's the ladies. The men, we just go home. We knew this served a purpose and we just go home. But that's another reason why side chicks is just not good. We all, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it always ends up complicated. And so she's saying, what about if she gets somebody else? We don't care. As long as you make time for us, we don't care. I'm not trying to be nasty, but we don't care. You can have 14 other dudes, which would be nasty. But if I'm not having sex with you, we just hanging out, you cooking for me, you doing whatever, you doing the things that she won't do, even though I've asked her to do it, she don't want to do it, and you providing that for me, and it doesn't always have to be sex, then guess what? That's what's going to happen. Amen, lights and walls. Let's continue.
Can I just, Darren, you can go. Can I just say one thing?
No, that was a great.
Wait, I want y'all to see me right here. I'm the dark one next to the older gentleman. That's Bishop Triplet. I'm the one right next to the dude in the white shirt. I literally was chilling during this. I was like, oh no, you're not gonna get me in that. But let's continue.
Question. That's an amazing question.
So look, side chicks are side chicks. You're not gonna marry the side chick. You will create the illusion, but you're a side. Now let me say this also to his point. When you get married, what we say is, I'm not gonna release my sexual energy with anybody else. Especially being a man of God. I'm not gonna masturbate. I'm not watching pornography. So now if you're the only vessel that I can release this energy in, you can't play with that. Like, you know, wait a minute. So we say on the wedding night, until I die, till death do us part, we're not gonna sleep with nobody else. So what you just saying is you're responsible for my release. So you can't, especially if I can't masturbate and I'm trying to be a man of God, you can't play with that release. The side chick comes to fill a void. Men not leaving wives for side chicks. They have fun with side chicks.
But sometimes when you play with these side chicks, you break up your home because you bring in drama into your home. You say, hey, I'm not dealing, and we're in a different time now, and I'm young, but you sit there and say you're going to deal with this side chick.
Now, let me ask you this question. And I don't know her. I'm not attacking her. I don't even know her name. But let me, yes or no. Was she being aggressive? Yes or no? Was she being aggressive here? Do you sense aggression? And I kind of thought that she forgot that she was talking to two pastors. Both of them were pastors. So to me, I just felt like you have got emotionally involved into this conversation. And it kind of projected, because I actually seen people in that comment section while I was up there reading the comment section saying, man, you would think that she giving me side chick vibes because of the energy, the aggressiveness that she presented there. Okay, do side chicks mess up homes? Let me explain this to you in the realest way possible from a man. If a side chick messed up a home, it was already ruined before the side chick. Because some men are going to go out here and do their thing. But a lot of men, the only reason why they had side chicks because they felt like they can't bring their thing to you. They have these side chicks because bringing this issue to you is always meant. What did I tell you when I first started? We'll bring something to you. And the second you go at us and you give us that nasty pushback, we will shut down. That is not a good place for you, because once we shut down, we're not going to talk about it anymore. Because we brought something to you, you don't want to hear it. So in comes the side chick who will do anything to accommodate us, even if it is an illusion. She will accommodate. We brought it to you. You did not want to listen. Now, some men are going to do it whatever. They're going to have side chicks, and they side chicks going to have side chicks with them, and they just going to be all around here just pretty much just falconing everybody. That's not who I'm talking about. But a lot of men, if they would be honest, the reason why the side chick exists is because they brought it to you. You did not listen. You gave him pushback. He shut down, so he won't bring it to you anymore. And in comes somebody else. You left that door open. Pastor TK said something that I definitely agree with. When we say I do, because that's the real relationship right here, the I do one. That means for a man, we are telling you out of every woman we could possibly have. And those of us who are successful, those of us who have something going on that a lot of women find attractive, you in the top 10, 15% of all earners, you have a lot of options out here, regardless of what they think you look like physically. If Lil Wayne can get a model, then guess what? That proves my point. You can't find the female version of Lil Wayne. You can't find her, because that probably would be Lizzo. So yeah, we know, we're saying out of all the women, every single woman that we have seen, we are saying we are choosing you. We will not go with any other woman. But now you are signing this contract where you are saying, I have to facilitate these needs of this man who has chosen me. This is my part of the deal, which is why communication is so important. You need to make sure that y'all are on the same page. So when you get married, hopefully you taking your time. So when you get married, you will know you've had these conversations. And so when you do address this, babe, we talked about this. We really, really delved into this. But because now you know. I don't think people really understand that. Because we got these shows, like the show I've been watching now, you got people marrying at first sight. No conversation. And you saying, well, that's a show. Some of you do it now because you were in a relationship for 6 months, but you didn't know him. You never took the time out to know him or her. You were so enamored, and everybody was saying, oh, you look so cute together. And you ignored every red flag. Now you married, and this woman who you married, who you said you're the only person I can be with, now this man is laying up with a woman that don't even want to have sex with him. A friend of mine told me about a man that she knows that's having sex with his wife once a month. Once a month. You are married and you having sex once a month? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, for real. If he went and talked to her, babe, why are we only having sex once a month? I like sex. I'm attracted to you. I can see if he wasn't attracted to you. But if he's attracted to you, and why get married to a woman you're not attracted to? That's stupid. But anyway, I'm attracted to you. I want to have sex with my wife. What's up, babe? I just don't be wanting to do it. Now you leaving this man. And why you are, sex ain't, it's more important things than sex. That's the wrong thing to say. Because right then and there, you done messed up. Fine. And that's the real. All right? Let's continue.
But then she's breaking up home, or she's following your woman on social media, or whatever the case may be, trying to break up your home. But you saying, oh, she's not on that. Then what did you think? Because after so long, you're sleeping with this side chick, you're creating feelings. So you creating a different mindset in her head.
Yeah. This is good. Y'all clap for my sister. So listen, now let me just make.
Side chicks know the deal. They don't come into a situation not knowing the deal. And there have been times where men have thought about leaving his woman for the side chick. That always happens. That happens a lot, fellas. We know. Let's be honest. That happens when you've least thought about it. But for whatever reason or not, you didn't. But most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, that side chick knows she's a side chick. And it's her decision whether or not she's going to keep going. And if she breaks it off with the dude, and the dude be like, well, okay, whatever. I'm not going to have sex knowing you out here sleeping with other women. It's too much out here to be playing. I'm just saying. I understand that. And I'm glad you said that, and I agree with you. I agree with you. Why did they, oh, hold on. Oh, God. I don't want to do that. Escape. I agree with you there, Vicky. So instead of continuing to work in issues of real relationship, why get a side chick? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, Vicky. I've expressed that you tried to work it out with her and you were ignored, or you were battered, or you were pushed. The pushback was just so bad that you didn't even want to say nothing. Men do that. All the men that I talk to and all the stuff, the research I've done, and even in the shows that I've seen and the reality TVs and everything else, men do shut down. We're not going to keep going to you about the same thing. We're just not going to do it. In a relationship, we leave you. But in a marriage, you here. You see what I'm saying? And I think it's some sense of moral obligation that they do stick around. But they were already, you're not meeting his needs. And I think that's something that you need to understand. If he comes to you, you need to be willing to at least hear him out. I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. Let me continue.
I'm clear. Thank you, and I need you to keep coming.
That was very good.
Hold on. None of these guys up here sleeping with side chicks.
No, we're not. We not. We're just telling you what it is.
I don't know what y'all do in churches, but I pray that's not what we doing up here.
No, we're not.
So we
Vicky, I hear you saying so leave. But you were cheating. No, when I say children, bills, the house, taking care of those responsibilities, that's what I meant by those responsibilities. I'm not talking about that. Here, let me ask this, and let me present this in another way. And first of all, I'm not advocating cheating on your wife. Let me start there. I'm giving you an explanation. But let me say this. If the deal is forsaking all others, I'm with you. You signed this contract, which is a marriage contract, which is the only relationship that's actually legally and binding. Now, I know scrutinized hate that, but you signed up for this. You said, I'm going to marry you, and this is it, right? So, breach of contract happens where? Does the breach of contract happens when the man steps out with a side chick, or when the woman decides that she doesn't want to have sex with her husband like that? Where did the breach of contract happen? That's what I want to know. Tell me what you think. Where did the breach of contract happen? Did it happen when she decided that she didn't want to have sex with him on a regular, which is what she agreed to do, or when he went out and got a side chick? And I agree with you. Then leave. That's that, and that is so Disney. That is so Disney. But in reality, the man is not going to leave. He's not going to leave. We know that to be true. It's easy to say, well, then leave. But then again, we could say that about some women that are not happy with the man paying the bills. They don't leave. They stay for the most part. But then again, you do file for divorce 90% of the time. But nevertheless, 80% actually closer. What if you and Will Smith shoot? Right. That's what I'm saying. Will Smith didn't leave. He could have left. I don't know what's going on in their relationship, though. It happened when she decided to stop doing her duties. Exactly. So the breach of contract was happening when she decided to do her duty, when she decided that her duties was not something that she wanted to do. She decided that she didn't want to perform her wifely duties, so the breach of contract did not happen when he stepped out. That breach of contract happened then. Now you say, why not leave? Let me ask you this question. Financially incentives, when you talk about financial incentives, who has the more incentives to leave and go? The man or the woman? That man, if he's the provider, he's going to do everything he can to stay. Why? Because you're going to take him for his house, you're going to get alimony, and you're going to get some child support. So it's things, incentives for you to leave. That man ain't really going to try to leave. Why you say it's cheaper to keep her? That's one of the reasons. So he's not, if he knew there would be absolutely no financial drawback for him leaving, a lot more men would leave. But we know that's not reality, just like a man leaving is not reality. I don't deal with speculatory over here. That's the reason why most men don't leave. Because the financial ramifications is too steep. So we will step out, have this side chick that hopefully you never find out about. So overall, we happy. We still gonna pay the bills. We still gonna take care of our children. We still gonna do our duties. You've already checked out on the sex with us, so you can't complain there. We still gonna do our duties, and we gonna do what we need to do. But on the other side, we gonna get our needs met on this side with the side chick. That's why she exists. No, if you marry, you should not have a side chick. I understand that, and I agree. You should not have a side chick. You took vows, you should honor them. But we are talking about why they exist and why it happens. So we're going to avoid the drama and still create more drama. There ain't no drama. Side chicks don't bring drama. See, that's what y'all tell yourselves. You tell yourselves that side chicks bring drama. They don't. They don't. The only drama is happening is when you find out. That's the only drama. The side chicks don't bring drama. That's not their job. Their job is to do the opposite of that. We get enough drama from you. Her job is to take us away from the reality that is the nightmare going home to a woman that doesn't want us. That's the reality. Let's continue.
We are just talking. Now hold it. they said something, and I didn't know it was gonna go this deep, this quick, cause Pastor TK said something. He said, did y'all hear him? He said, I can't say it exactly like he said it, but I heard a revelation. He said the side chicks now are not trying to break up no home.
They're not. Bishop, can I?
All right, this is something. Do women like to argue? No,
let me set this straight. This is what happened. I didn't post what I said, but he asked me, what do I look for a woman, and what I don't like. I said one of the things I like in women, number one, is consistency. I like consistency. I like when you the same way when we met. I need that the same way. I don't want you flipping and flopping on me because I got a busy life. I don't need to be worried about you here today and this, and I want to do this and I want to do that. I need consistency. What are your life goals? What are you working towards? What do you want to do? Flipping and flopping and stuff like that for me, that doesn't work. Consistency, and not just that, and a host of other things that I won't need to go into on this live. Then the one thing I said I don't like is arguing. Now, what do I mean arguing? We can have a disagreement. But arguing with me means it gets heated. It means it's the back and forth, the no ending back and forth. I'm saying something, you not listening. You saying something, I'm hearing you. I'm telling you I'm hearing you, but you not hearing me because I'm hearing you. But now you want to keep going. And some of you want to keep going. Even though the argument is over, you still going. I've conceded. And you still say, see, yeah, because if I just conceded. Don't do that. That's going to make me mad. I don't like that. Don't do that because now you're just trying to dig the knife in, and it's making me think of you a little bit of a narcissist and sadistic, and it's not somebody I want to be with like that. So when I say I don't like to argue, I don't see the point in going back and forth with you. Tell me what's up. I will respond, and then I'm going to allow you to speak your mind again, and then let's move to a solution. It's really that simple. But some felt like I was attacking them. And so Bishop said, listen what Bishop says.
I need y'all to be honest. No. Ladies, I need y'all to be honest. Come to the mic. This is so serious. This is so serious. I need y'all to come to the mic because this is a question that I do have. And everybody, don't y'all wait, Brian. Y'all come on in. Okay. Is there something that women get from argument? Just sometimes men don't communicate. And so maybe with the argument, he'll show emotions. He'll get excited and you'll feel loved or you'll see what he cares about. Do women like to argue? If so, why? What is that? Derek said he don't like to. How many men do not like to argue? Please stand. Jesus don't like to argue. This is the whole room. Can y'all put y'all, and I am standing too. I'm with you. Yes, Lord. I'm with you. Brothers don't like to argue.
So you see how many men, I think every man stood up in that building. That should tell you something. Married men stood up, and there wasn't many single men there, single as in not married yet. Those men, they stood up, but the men, just about every last man stood up. Let me explain. Ladies, we don't like to argue with you. The back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that wanes on us. We don't like it. We don't like it. It's not something that we look forward to. Some of us, we avoid these conversations with you because we know it's going to lead to something. We could choose better, fellas. We could choose better. But this is who you married, so you have to live with it. Jeremy Lewis said, I stood up. I don't like to argue, but I do like effective communication. If I can't get that, I get super annoyed. Okay, let me ask you this. I should have had you on this show, Vicky. But what happens when you get annoyed? That's what I'm interested in. What happens when Vicky becomes annoyed? I want to know. Type that in the comment section. But anyway, that's what I express. We don't like to argue. Men don't like to argue. Fellas, tell the truth. We don't like to argue. We don't mind discussions, but the argument we can't deal with. Let's go.
Okay, look at that. Oh my God. Okay, help me, lady.
Okay, my question is,
let me set the stage. So somebody asked and said, okay, back after that, when Bishop did that, the lady stood up and she said, we don't like arguing, but we want y'all feel like y'all not hearing us. Y'all not hearing us. Y'all not hearing us. Most of the men that I know that really, really value and respect their wives, they hear you. Most of the men that really value you and your opinion, we are listening to you. But if you keep beating us over the head over and over again, it turns into a nag. We've heard you. And here's the thing, the best ones among us, we're going to do our best to do what you are asking if it's reasonable. What up, Nancy? Thank you. Once I'm heated, after a heated conversation, I'm leaving. We can try again the next day. What you mean you leaving? Oh, Emmanuel, he said didn't leave. Okay. I'm waiting on Vicky to tell me what happens when she gets annoyed. But anyway, she said, you don't hear us. We keep talking, y'all not hearing us. We heard you. And somebody said, I think it was Pastor TK said, we respond, but you don't like our answers. That's the real. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to, and then you like lawyers. You keep asking the question a different way, trying to get a different answer, and we gonna give you the same answer. That's the way we're wired. We gonna know, we gonna sift through the bullshit, and we're gonna say, this is what we just told you. You don't like the answers. Not all of you, not even most, but some of you, you're combative. You're combative. You want us to say what you want us to say. And if we're not saying what you want us to say, you feel like we haven't heard you. We have heard you, ma'am. You need to hear us. And then to say, well, I just want to talk about my day and I want to talk about your day, we'll listen to that. That's what dinner time is for. That's fine. What I mean by arguing, say for instance, Derek, you didn't take the garbage out. Babe, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm going to take it out. Every time you come home, you don't want to take the garbage. First of all, you too aggressive. That's not going to happen. We don't do that. But every time you need to take the garbage out. Okay, babe, I'm about to take it out right now. Yeah, because you didn't know that, baby, I'm going to take the garbage. Why is it a problem if I take the garbage out now? I just told you I'm going to take it out. Because, that's what I mean. Now, ain't that a pointless argument? Ain't that a pointless argument? Yes or no? Hey, Zakira, what if you are the person who doesn't go back and forth? However, your spouse is the one that does. And when it's your time, whoa, y'all bring it. When it's your time to communicate, they aren't listening to you, what you just said, making them defend themselves. And that's the tricky part, because that's a person that has said they're not going to listen to you. That's a telltale sign of somebody that's not listening to you. Because most of us, when we're listening to you, when you do tell us, you only got to tell me one time. Now, I may forget. I'm in my 40s. I'm going to forget some stuff. But I do hear you. And the thing is, what I like to do, and I don't like to bring myself into these conversations because I don't want you to pick apart my relationships. I just want you to hear what I'm saying. Hopefully you can apply it. I can apply my own words. But I will look in your eye and I try to let you see that I'm really listening to you. Babe, I don't like it when you do such and such. So how does that make you feel? Because I didn't think I'm doing anything wrong. Well, it just makes me feel like I'm less, like I'm not important to you, that I'm not this. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. That's not what my intention. I'm so sorry. I would do better. But see, that's me. But some of y'all get with these dudes and you be like, babe, I don't like it. There's something wrong with you. If they spinning around on you like that, that's the sign of narcissism. You need to run, sweetheart. You need to run. If it's minor, then I'll say forget it and walk off, and it's something that needs to be discussed. Then I'm going to find something to make you start talking. It may not always go as expected, but shoot, at least you start talking. Yeah, you probably need to find some people that could communicate, Vicky. I mean, to be honest with you, some of you, unfortunately, let's be honest, you pick these men that can't communicate. You pick these damaged men that want you to pay for the stuff that the other women did to them. You choose these men. How do you choose them? You give them too much too soon. You choose them. Let them choose. Look, relationships like this, you probably need to take your time. Seriously. Take your time. I don't know why everybody in a rush these days. I never really understood that. Why is everybody in a rush? It's like a track meet. Y'all say y'all want to hear us, but there's no change. So do you really want to hear us, or do you say, okay, move the conversation, choose better men? Because a lot of the men that I know, I don't have time to go back and forth with you. My work days are crazy. And the worst thing I need, if my woman is not happy in my home, that means when I work my 12-hour or whatever, my 2-day jobs, and then I go to Powerhouse, I'm showing up at 9, then I got to deal with an angry, unhappy woman. That's just not smart. Most men are successful. We work long hours. So the last thing we want to do is come home to a woman that's upset with us and angry with us because we failed to listen to her. Most men that are professionals, we understand that. Our time is very valuable. And so we're not going to argue with you. You see what I'm saying? But some of these men there, they're like that, especially the Scallies, the Dusties, and the Man Kings, and the Pookies, and the Ray Rays. Those are the men that got all the time in the world, and they don't care if you are mad. And your piece is actually important, but we all can do better vetting. I put that in the conversation. We can do better vetting. I think we so enamored by the exterior, and men, we do it too. We are attracted by what we see first. But you need to take your time and make sure that this person is everything. Y'all move too fast. All of us, we move too freaking fast. Take your time, pump the brakes, slide, because like it's winter time. And when you drive fast and you start pumping brakes, what happens when you start pumping brakes and there's snow on the ground? What happens when you slam on the brakes and snow? You still gonna slide and you still gonna cause an accident. Take your time. Drive slower. Be cautious. Don't ignore the red flags. And if you see red flags that you feel you need to discuss, bring it up and listen for their response. Be aware. Use your antennas. Use the intuition that God has given you to make better decisions. Make better decisions with who we deal with. Men too. Listen, I talk about this stuff, but most of the time I'm shooting myself. I'm talking to me. And I share it with you guys. I keep telling you, this is our show. I learn from you, you learn from me. But at the end of the day, we all could do better choosing. And I just think we so busy. And some of us, unfortunately, the ladies, because it's not many of us. It's not really many men like that are successful, educated, intellectual, spiritual, and ready to be on your program as far as marriage, or to take care of you, to provide for you, to love you, to respect you, to honor you, to put you on a pedestal. And next to the only person that should be on that pedestal is Jesus Christ. So it's Jesus Christ and then my wife. You need that kind of man, but it's not many of us around. And what happens is you looking for that love so bad that you will put yourself in this position to rush a man that can't even spell pedestal, to put you on a place that he doesn't even see anybody there but himself. And so these types of men won't listen to you. They won't honor you. They won't respect you. And then you will find yourself being angry. And the worst thing you can do is make the next man pay a higher price for the man that just experienced every part of you. Now the next man needs to pay for that and then some. That's what happens. And I just feel like we all can do better than that. Pick better, choose better, slow the falcon down, and just chill. Don't let people rush you into something that you know you're not ready for. It's okay. Take your time. Now, I know your biological clock, man, we don't necessarily have to deal with that. Somebody brought up Viagra, but we got that. And I'm I don't want to go there. I love her so bad. But I'm not going to go there with you, ma'am. But I want to go there with you. Do I need to go there? I'll wait. I kind of do. I kind of want to choose violence. I kind of want to choose violence. But let's go. So slow the falcon down. Y'all can type that in the section. Slow the falcon down. That's my way to say the other word. For real. Now, what happened was somebody before this clip, when we having fun, I'm enjoying y'all. Y'all, thank you for joining me. Somebody before this clip said the Trinity of all women, whatever. When he said Trinity, I'm like, wow, okay, this is where we at, Pastor Dan. I love you, brother, but whoo, you went to the well on that. I mean, where are you at? You went to the well on that. You drowned in that puddle in the deepness. But nevertheless, he said the Trinity of women. And it's a woman that could be a freak, a woman that's a boss. I'm not necessarily with the boss mentality When I said I don't like boss chicks, I was talking about the mentality, not the fact that you are ambitious. I actually found ambition to be very, it's appealing to me. But the boss babe mentality, I'm not with that because it's impossible to turn that off. When do you turn it off? And that's what I was expressing. But anyway, he was like, oh, okay, well, I want to talk about that. Then I like this lady. We actually play a song for her when she comes in the church. It's kind of funny. But anyway, this is what she said.
All of you can answer it. When Pastor Dan spoke of the woman that has all the 3 traits that you spoke about, what if that Trinity woman was a Trinity woman and that man still stepped out and still cheated? What is the reason for that?
I personally believe if you have that Trinity woman and a brother still steps out, then that's just him being driven by lust and perversion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him just stepping out because he hasn't learned discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pastor Dan, can I add?
Now, he's going to say something, but I agree with Pastor Dan there. I'm going to be spiritual today, and I'm not going to say the D word, but y'all know what I mean. When you are married, fellas, you need to exercise discipline. You cannot be out here smashing every woman when you got a wife that you took vows to at home. You need to exercise, especially if she's going, because there are some good women. There's a lot of good women out here that are willing to do what you need and be what you need. So if she's willing to do that and she's listening to you, she's honoring you, she's yielding authority to you, which means she's being cooperative with you, not combative, not argumentative. She's keeping herself. She looks nice. You go to work, you come back, she looking like fire. What reason on earth do you have to bring somebody else in? What reason? Listen, when I ask these dudes that, I'm still like, what reason? Because you lack discipline. Which is why if the church goes on a fast and he's not keeping up with it, that's a red flag for me. I'm sorry. Because the fast teaches you discipline. Yeah, we know we want to get closer to God. We want to build a better relationship, become more mature, and we use that time to pray, to fast. To meditate. We already fasted, but we used to pray and seek God, seek the face of God, and sit before Him and try to learn of His ways and become stronger as believers. But the one thing that we always miss out is discipline. It takes an amazing amount of discipline to do some of these fasts. So if you got a man or a woman and the church goes on a fast and they're not doing it and you're married, you might need to take, or you're dating, especially you're dating, because that's the best time to see it, then you might want to take a note of that. Because you say you can't exercise. Like if you bring it up, are we going to do the fast? Now, if you some people out here that don't want to do fasts, maybe you should have a conversation on why not. And if it doesn't, I'm going to go here. If their beliefs and system does not align with you, why would you then try to pursue a relationship with them? I'm not saying they're not believers, but if your ideologies, your theology, if they don't align and neither one of you are willing to yield, why pursue a relationship with this person? That's my question. She might not be fasting. That's true. That's true, but I look at that stuff like that. I'm one of the reasons why I'm able to lose weight whenever I want to is because I can turn down the food. I won't eat a certain amount of time. I'll just eat fruit, or I do this. I can exercise a level of discipline when I want to. So when Bishop was like going to fast, it wasn't too hard for me. I just fasted. But you got men out here that was bucking. That's not kosher. Let's go.
To that,
Come on.
Can I add real quick? While I agree with everything that Pastor Dan said, I need the women to really understand what that sounds like, because we said be 3 different women. And so when we say that, women a lot of times give us back. Oh, they will say this verbatim. Oh, so I gotta be this, I gotta be that. You ain't never satisfied. So while y'all like how it sounds romantically, when you go home and digest it, when a man says be 3 different things, it's a hard thing for a person to assume, because when we get out of the romanticness of how it sounds, that's a hard task. Yeah. I agree with it, but I'm saying when y'all digest it, like, are you ready? Like, Okay, so if anybody wants to date Pastor Dan, I'm just throwing this out
don't.
here. I'm just saying.
It's not available.
But I'm just saying. He just said, I need you to be 3 different women. And we all have our requirements. And what the submission comes in is, I heard you, and am I ready to submit to this mission of being 3 different people in one?
And really what it is.
Emma, come on.
So I want the.
So, y'all heard what he said. A lot of men feel this way. They want that, I wouldn't say 3, but they like different things. They want a woman that can be a quote unquote freak. They want a woman that can get stuff done. And they want a woman that can cater to their needs, can be, and I don't know what happened over the years where a woman, if a man say, hey, I like a woman that can cook. I like a woman that can clean and take care of the children. When did that deem to be dishonorable? When did being a normal housewife, wife, when did that deem to be a bad thing? And it kind of pains me to see the sisters say it a lot. It pains me to see that. When did that become dishonorable? Like somebody like a lot of men that's on this panel. And you know, I'm there now, thank God. So I don't really care about what you make per se. It's nice, but it's not a winning point. It's not something you can say, hey, I make this kind of money. That's wonderful. You're an adult. But when did it become so negative to be a housewife? That's crazy. Because when I hear that, I cringe because my mom was a housewife. My grandmother was a housewife. And you can get rid of that color purple. Men wasn't beating on their wives like that. You got a small, minuscule number of men that were like that. And they put it on all black men. They wasn't like that. My grandparents weren't like that. My grandfather wasn't like that. My father wasn't like that. My uncles are not like that. Most of them. Now my cousins, you know, yeah, you pretty much rolling dice. But see, that's a different generation. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about late Generation X and millennials. We ain't gonna get into how that happened. But yeah, I don't know why that happened. I mean, my mom is a great cook. And she took care of us. I don't understand what happened. Y'all can leave in the comment section. That always bothers me. Now, the lady that's getting up speaking, I love her. I definitely love her daughter. I love you. If you were watching, I love you. Zakira, I love you. Your mama went in, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Talk back about the controlling part. Sometimes as
okay, so wait. I said something about a woman being controlling, about boss chicks. I don't necessarily, come on, y'all. Do I come across as somebody that needs somebody to control me and tell me what to do? No. But, so I don't necessarily, we will bump heads. I need a woman that's on my program that I can love and honor, respect, and I can treat her like she would be the most wonderful thing in the world. I would love to do that to my wife. But I don't need a boss. That's not appealing to me. Men like myself that have worked and built ourselves up, we don't cater to that. That's not what we need. We need somebody that's gonna play a support to what we've already built. So if you wanna come in and try to control me, that's gonna be a problem for me. I dealt with that, I hated it. I don't like controlling women. That's just me. And so I was just expressing that about me, and I don't usually like to talk about my own stuff on these panels. I like to give information and hopefully you can run with it. But I was asked and I have to, respect the question. But this is what I desire. And so some women was like, oh, that's boss. And whenever he said something about boss chicks, I think we kind of, I'm talking about the mentality of a boss chick. But nevertheless, so she had something to say. Here we go.
women, you all leave us with no other choice but to be in control. Sometimes we have to be in control because you don't have a job. Sometimes we're forced to pay all the bills. You will not help us with the children. You won't buy diapers. You won't buy milk. You won't buy food. So sometimes we're forced in that area to be in control of everything. I'm not saying all men, but there are some men that are like that forces us to be in control. So maybe if the men step up and do what the men's supposed to do, we won't have to be in control. Because most women don't want to be in control. I know I don't want to be in control. I thank God my husband No, he knew the purpose. He know. But there are men out here who just does not do what they supposed to do. That pushes us to be in control.
Woo! She had some fire up in her. Woo, Jesus, she had some fire. Come on, mama. She had some fire. She, woo. When she said that, I was like,
They get confused, bewildered.
I was like, oh, okay, mama, you feel the heat. Let me answer that. You should never need to feel like you need to be in control. I know it's an if, but you should never feel that way. And yes, some of us have failed you in that regard, where we haven't done what we need. I can testify. I wasn't always the mature Derek. There's some parts of me that had to mature. So I understand exactly what she's saying. But at the very end of the day, we don't need you to ever be controlling. That's what I meant. You need to be in control. That means you have dominion over the things that are happening in your life. If he's not doing it, then of course you have to step up and do it. What I meant by controlling, meaning he is there. He is buying diapers. He is being a man, and you still feel the need to try to direct him to do what you want him to do. And if he doesn't do it like you think he should do it, now I can do it better than you, and it becomes a competition between you and your man because there's two dicks swinging and only one of them has a real one, and so that's a problem. That's what I mean when I say being in control. Sometimes, ladies, you do have to step up, but don't act like men don't step up either. There are some single fathers out here. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being in control of a man that's there. That's what I mean. Like somebody like me. I don't need a woman telling me, oh, your computer over here, you need to move it. Your studio stuff here, you got this camera here, telling me what to do in my place. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. So I understand because normally that level of aggression would definitely be it would be scrutinized over here. But in this regard, I totally understand. Look, fellas, we cannot be devoid of accountability here. Some of us have done our fair share of some falconed up junk. We have left some of our women out here on their own. We've done a live about that. I won't get into too deep because we ain't got that much time. We've been here a while. But definitely we messed up in some areas. We have messed up in our areas. We told these women, if you have my baby, I'm going to take care of it. Which means before you had, which is stupid, why are we having babies like this without planning it when you married? Not talking about having sex, you got pregnant. I'm talking about a dude literally, like what that boy, baby boy, I want you to have my baby. I want you to have my baby. And you know you ain't got the finances or the mental capacity to take care of a child. That's what I mean. And you failed because now that the baby's here, you left this woman to be a baby mama. So you've made her life harder. And then you're not here for the child that you said you wanted. That's what I mean. That's where we failed. You have not honored your word. Some of you were married and you left your children. You have not honored your word. I'm not talking to the people where things have happened in you somewhere else. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you people that actually went out and had these babies with your wife or your girlfriend. You told her, have my baby. She did, and now you're not around. That's jacked up. So we have failed you in some regards, ladies. I'm not going to give us off the hook. You didn't see that coming, did you? I'm not going to. Now, I will never let you come on here and bash my brothers. Let me let that know. That will never happen. We can have accountability with each other. But we've heard that, which brings me to this. The week before we did this man summit, right, there was some couple of things that were said. Do I want to go there now? Do y'all want me? I'm not trying to go to the fire room. I'm trying to stay nice because y'all love me and I love you too.
Leave him. Okay, Tommy has stood up. We gotta go, y'all.
Leave him.
You need to leave him.
Just leave him.
Yeah, he ain't
Hurry.
sound good.
Listen, all I want to say to what she said is, that's the type of man you want then. if this man won't help you with this and won't help you with you knew this already. Yeah. So you want to be in control. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, you'd have raised your standards and said, this is not the type of man that I want. I want a man that can lead me, that can do this and that can do that. I always say that, to me, this is my view, that the way the world is right now, I say that the woman is the Mother Earth. And the woman has more control, if you want to use that word. The woman have more control with what goes on in a relationship. Listen, men, we do things to impress a woman. We want to make money so we can impress a woman. We want the nice clothes, we want the nice car, we want the nice things because we want the woman to look at us. But her standards, where is her standards? I always say that if women would say, we're not dating any more drug dealers and gangbangers, we're not gonna date any more guys with their pants sagging, then guess what'll happen? These jokers will start pulling up their pants, they'll start going to school, they'll start getting an education. So it's really on the woman. What do you want? Do you know what you want?
Bye, Felicia.
All right, clap, clap. We closing, y'all.
Okay. Tommy said a lot there. I always say this, and I say it all the time. I say, what do I say? I said, well, we do move with the market. We actually do. Men, we move with the market. What do you mean? When you guys said you love beards, here we come with the beards. When you said you like locks, a lot of men had locks. When you said certain things, we just move with the market. So I get what he's saying. If you say, I don't want a man with, that dress this way or whatever, to act this way, and most women moved away from it, they would, some of them, not all of them, because somebody said, I think Natalie said it, sometimes they do it for other men, which is extremely suspect, but I agree. But some men would straighten up. They would. I don't know about the education part, because some of them, they just will never do that. But I get what he's saying in that regard. You said you're going to ask him Sunday. Vicky, you choosing violence today. I see.
I choose violence.
You choosing violence today, Vicky. What up, Jaden? How you doing, man? Okay, this is the last. We almost done. I want y'all to check this out. And then I'm going to, I'm going to take my, and we going to close this thing strong. Here we go.
Got it, my sister. You got 60 seconds. Hurry.
I just want to speak to Tommy in reference to you say women with standards. We pick these men, but as the women stated last week, I got standards, but the man don't want to live up to my standards because he could go to Sally and she going to give him everything he want and he ain't got to have no standards with her. So I find myself, I'm single because my standards is where they're at. And
Stop. I got it. Do I have to do it? Derek, fight it. I'm not going to do it, but I just need to do it. Listen, some of you ladies, and I'm going to slow this down. The week before we did this panel, there's a couple of things that were said. You ladies don't have a problem calling men broke. You don't have a problem calling us short. You don't have a problem talking about our taking Viagra, our penis size. You don't. I literally heard somebody on the panel of the women say a man so short you can take him and put him in your pocket. You don't have a problem doing that. But if you noticed in this man's panel, none of them said anything that was remotely close to any of that. So if I got on here and I said, man, well, we don't want silverbacks. If you 6'5", 300 pounds, that's not what we want. We want you slimmer. We want you more fit. We don't want you with 18,000 kids. Now, that's not me. I'm saying if they said that in that way, how would you have taken that? You get real cavalier and reckless when it's your turn. But see, when the men start talking about the things that you want, we've heard broke a million times. We've heard small penis a million times. We've heard short men, I like them tall or whatever. There's only 14% of all men, married or not and gay, that are over 6 feet tall. But you want that 14% is closer probably to 7% because a lot of them are married. When you start taking away the finances and everything else in the marital age, now you looking to say, oh my God, it's not that many men. No, it's not. But you still want a 6 figure, 6-inch man. But we're not allowed to say that we don't want a silverback. So when you say, I got standards, my standards are so high, and I'm single. And I'm not talking about the lady because I respect her, but I'm talking about the ladies that feel this way when you say, I have high standards and then whatever. Now, let me explain this to you. The biggest problem that a lot of you ladies have is hypergamy, which means you make $50,000, $60,000 a year, which means now you want a man that makes $60,000 a year, which is fine. That's above average, but you can find that man. But here's the thing, that man wants some things too. And most men that are successful like that, they don't look for certain things they don't want. And your money doesn't matter to them. Those men don't care about your degrees. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your money. So you leading with that because you thinking this man, he got to be up to my level. But you got to think about it. What does the man on that level want? He wants you physically attractive. He wants you cooperative. He wants you friendly, feminine, and all of that good stuff. This is what he looks for. If you notice, I didn't say anything about your looks. I keep showing y'all the data. What men want long-term. What men want long-term is looks and age. This is data. They want looks and age. It's the important thing to them. This is what they look for. Short-term is different. Short-term is different. They only care about looks. Do you see where money is? Status is 1%. Resources is 0. We don't care about your money. Now, the men that you look down on, the men that you call broke, those are the ones that care about your money. Why? Because they mode is saying, hey, you somebody I can build with. Because now their mode is building. But men who are successful, the men that you want, the 10% of men, black men is only 10% of us actually make $100,000 or more. 10%. So you're basically saying to me, looking in this mirror, when I get out this shower with my hair not done, with all this fake snuffleupagus and nails and falcon talons and everything else, that I qualify for the top 10% of all men because you are in competition with every other woman that wants that man. So you saying my standards are high, but maybe your standards may be high, but they may be unrealistic. Because, ma'am, you may not qualify for a man making $120,000 a year. That's 6 feet tall. That's 6 inches. That's the reality. So time and time again, when I hear the ladies talk, you always saying somebody's broke. I would rather take a broke man than a broken man. Because a broken man won't even think his life is over. He doesn't want to do nothing. He's going to just exist. But a broke man can turn it around. You could be the inspiration for that broke man and help him, not beat him. That's important. But you can help him. The problem is, this is the conversation y'all don't want to have. You'll build this man up to a certain level that you don't qualify for. Because you overvalued yourself. Because some of y'all think because you got a JJ, that puts you on a different market that you're not on. You're not on that market. Because those men, and trust me, I know a few of them. I just met a man the other day before I did this panel, right? I was at the gas station because this is what I do. I go talk to men. I talk to men. He pulled up in a Maserati SUV with the new bumpers, the sticker still in the wall, in the window. That showed he was new. Younger man, looked like, 35, right? That's about right. Maserati, his car, because he got out with his nice suit on or whatever. This is his car. Okay, because you could tell. When it's his car, we just got that swag about it. This is his car. And I asked this man, I said, and I was on the phone, she can attest. I said, what do you look for in a woman? And he said, he didn't say He said nothing about her job. Listen, he said nothing. He said nothing about her job. Nothing. He said he liked her nice, respectful, and everything. And I asked him, I said, do looks matter on a scale of 1 to 10? This man said, man, about an 8, 9. He said 8, 9. That's what he looked for. This is a man driving a Maserati. How many times do I have to tell y'all? These men look for certain things. And you say, well, age, beauty, face, it sure does. But initially, that's all that matters to us. We look at what you look like first. And if you are not happy with yourself looking in the mirror, what makes you think we are going to like it? But then you same ones will turn around and trash everyday average working men who are willing. Working men, what I found, men making average money a little bit more flexible. They'll take you at a certain, they'll take you whatever. You may not be model size or whatever. They'll be like, okay, you cool. They may take you with a little spice. You talk back. You got a little flip mouth. They'll take that. They feel like they could take that. Men who make above average, maybe coming out of college right into the work field, you talk about $50,000, $60,000 a year, maybe $70,000. Those men accept a little less. Those men, they want you to look a certain way because, they care about that. But they start to not really care about the flip mouth and all of that, right? You start to get to the professionals. That's the men making $85,000 and above. That's in my range. Right? 85 to like $150,000, $160,000. That's my range. We don't deal with none of that. We want you to look a certain way. We want you to carry yourself a certain way. And there's certain things you're not doing for us, we will hit the door. We will do like Vicky said we should do. We will walk away from you because we have way more options and not a lot of time. Our time is valuable. You start talking about rich and wealthy men, let's leave that conversation out because most of you won't qualify for that. So you leaving the professionals, you leaving the dudes that make it above average, the average dudes and the scallies that just accept everybody. The Dusties, they like, hey, I just want a place to play my PlayStation and a couch to sleep on. I'm just trying to help you. Wait, she said, so men are okay with a woman with nothing. Yes, we don't care about what you got. A man, let me explain this to you. A rich man can pull up to a woman that works at McDonald's and marry her. But a woman that's hypergamous will not pull up into a McDonald's and marry him. Making minimum wage, she will never. Would you marry a man making minimum wage? Yes or no? But a wealthy man or somebody, even in my case, I wouldn't care about you making minimum wage because I make enough to take care of you and me and children. We don't care. We don't care about your money. The ones that y'all crap on, those are the ones that care. We don't care. So you have to make a decision, ma'am. You want the men to talk? You hearing one talk right now. You need to make a decision. Do I qualify for the man? And if not, what do I need to do to put myself where they will notice me? Because if you are a woman and you saying I'm single or whatever, the men that you want, they see you, they're just not interested. They just not interested right now. And you have to make yourself interesting enough for them to even bite. You have to present yourself in a way that those types of men that you are hoping to attract will bite. We don't care. We just don't care about your money, ma'am. We just don't. I know they didn't like when Kevin Samuel said it, but he was right about that. We don't care about your money. We can't spend it. You're not about to give me your credit card and say, hey, my money is your money, mi casa, su casa. You're not going to do that. You're going to say, hey, you need to, here's my thing, then I'm going to leave. Why do you say, when I say what kind of man you looking for, all the women say, well, he just need to he need to take care of himself. Why do you say that? If I marry you, I'm not just going to be taking care of myself because I'm not going to pay my share of bills. And then you, say for instance, you got children, right? And at my age, I'm accepted that's probably gonna be a reality. I just got lucky. But that would be a reality, and I'll be okay with that. You got children, as long as they ain't tearing up my bass guitars and ripping up my stuff, I'm okay. Your children are well-mannered, we can do it. But that's just me. But anyway, all this stuff, I can't go to Harold's and get chicken for me and come home and eat it in front of you, right? You say you want somebody who could just take care of himself. Well, that's just me taking care of myself. But if I marry you, I have to go buy food for me, you, and your children. That's more than just me taking care of myself. So can we stop with the can you just take care of yourself? Unless you plan to stay in a dating position where my money is no benefit to you, which it shouldn't be, you not my wife. If we gonna stay in that, then yeah, I should be able to take care of myself. But if you're talking about marriage and that's your primary goal, then a man telling you, oh, I could just take care of myself, then why would you say this is the kind of man I want? When it's really not. That's cap. That's cap. You want that kind of man that can take care of you and Ricarius and Denquaria and whatever these names y'all come up with, the extra hyphens and everything else. I never will understand it. But you want a man that can do that, and that's fine. You can want that. But the thing is, have you asked yourself, the reason why I'm single is because my standards, I got high standards, but you got standards that go beyond your value in the sexual marketplace. So you can say, I want a man to make 6 figures, but you only qualify for a hamburger maker. Then why are we here? The men were very respectful on this panel. They talked about sex. I explained why. But I didn't like some of the stuff that was happening in them comment sections. Some of y'all was very, very, very cavalier. And I was trying to be good. But some of you, I understand why you're single. Because if I was on the market, I wouldn't want to deal with you. Every time somebody says something on this panel, you have something negative to say. You don't want to hear men speak. You want us to shut up and accept you at your worst, but you want us at our best. We got to come in the door showing you the best version of ourselves. But you know what we get a lot of times, ladies, from some of you, not all of you, but some of you, you know what we get? I can be submissive if. You messed up already with 2 words, can and if. Submission or being nice or being respectful or cooperative, either you are or you are not. That's not something you can just turn on and off like a light switch. You can't do that. Either you are cooperative or you're argumentative. You can't say, I'm going to be argumentative until he shows himself. Why do we have to come in and show you something before we can get the best version of you, but you expect the best version of us off rip? I have to come in and show you I can lead before you follow. But I can't show you, you don't have to do anything. Do you know what they call that? And let me say this. Eliminate that word deserve from off your list. Because men such as myself, we hate that word. You don't deserve anything. You get what you earned. If you're a person that want to come out with a bonnet at 4:00 p.m., then you don't deserve anything. What you deserve is the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Scallies. That's what you deserve. Because that's the only thing you qualify for. You deserve these Scallies right here. You deserve these dudes that's going to sit on your couch and play video games all day. That's what you deserve. Because these men that are worth, these quality men, they want you at your best every time. And every time you leave the house, you need to think, am I going to meet this man today? I could be at a gas station. I pulled up and the man pulled up in a Maserati. What if I was a woman? Thank God I'm not. That's kind of sus. But if I was a woman and a man pulled up in a Maserati, he was a nice looking man. I ain't gay, but we could recognize gay. He was a nice looking man. I pull up in my car with a bonnet on. So this man sees me at my worst. Do you think he's going to get in this comment? Man, I need to reach out to her. No. He's going to say, what in the hell did she have on her head? That's what he's going to say. And I'm going to be right there with him saying, what in the world ma'am, do y'all think about this stuff? We talking about marriage, yo. We got to get there. What would qualify when as a Christian we're told no sex before marriage? Yes, sex is the most important thing to us. Sex is always going to be most important to us, but we can wait too. The problem is, y'all want us to pay higher prices for something you giving to somebody else because none of y'all virgins. Ain't none of us virgins. So you got to take that in consideration too. Because now that you've been experienced, there's certain things. See, that's why I said sex complicates everything because now you've experienced something that you was only supposed to experience with your husband. So now you having sex with somebody and you need to know if it's good, if his penis is good enough, if he does this, if he does that. Ooh, that sex thing it's wild. I tell you, it's wild. See, I ain't going to no sin. You gonna burn in hell. No, it just gets complicated. But we do think about sex. You should wait until you're married for a host of reasons. Yeah, you know men don't want to wait. I will. If I feel you are of high value to me, I will respect your wishes and wait on you. Find a man that thinks that way. I will not touch you. If you say, babe, I want to wait until we marry. Fine. I'll wait until we marry, especially if it's happening soon. Because I'm going to marry you. You control access to sex. We can't make you have sex with us. So you can do it. You find the right man. I think we could have a whole live on that. Find the right man and right woman. And most of us, we show our real intentions off rip. We just ignore these red flags. For real. We just ignore. We ask God for discernment, but we don't use it. I know I didn't. I don't sometimes when in my business and friends. I don't use discernment. We ignore it. We ignore it because we want to be part of something. We want to be a part of a collective, or we want to be in a relationship. Most of the time, these people show you. They're watching. I can't wait to do this live reaction to this show I've been watching. I can pick the red flags up miles away. Maybe because I've been doing this too long, but I can pick up the red flags. I can pick up the red flags. It's crazy. But anyway, now I enjoy doing these shows. I enjoy doing these shows with y'all. That was pretty much it. It was interesting. It was very interesting. To hear men speak and to hear the talking. And then I want to ask this question, ladies. How do you go about getting your man to speak to you, or men that you're trying to date? What is your mode? How do you get this man to express himself? Because we do it too. Men, we do bring trauma and drama from a last relationship to our next one. And we shouldn't, but we do. We don't heal from the next one. We bring it. That's why some of us, we treat you a certain way. I know I was horrible at that. I did the most despicable things to this woman. I've apologized to her since. But I was hurting so bad that I took it out on somebody that really was trying to be good to me. And I made her bitter. And that messed me up. I'm so disappointed in me even to this day for doing that to her. I mean, I ain't just talking about everyday, normal, immature man stuff. I did some horrible things because I was so much pain that I felt like women weren't worth it. I felt like y'all all were cheaters. Because, see, I was introduced by being cheated on. So my first interaction with cheating wasn't me cheating. It was me getting cheated on numerous times. And it broke my heart. And I didn't know how to cope, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I brought it into another relationship with a woman that was wonderful. She was wonderful. She was beautiful, had beautiful hair. She was beautiful, perfect height for me, everything. And I did not know how to heal from the pain from the last one. And I ruined this perfectly good. She was everything. She was fit. She was fit. She was a nice shape. She was cool. She was very cooperative. Probably the most cooperative woman I ever dated up until, of course, now. But I mean, up until that point, she was really, really cooperative. Never gave me no talk back. Never. If she had an issue with me, she would say it. And she just took everything with so much grace. But the horrible Derek that I was, I ruined that woman and made her bitter and then got mad because she was bitter at me. You can't make this up. I was mad because she was bitter at me and I deserved everything she did to me, as mad as I was. And I look back and say, man, she did some stuff to me and it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. But some of that stuff, I created this monster. This is something I did. And then got mad because the monster became to manifest in the way that I created. You can't make this up. This is who I was. I'm in my 40s and I'm still maturing as a man. But I said, one of the things that I'm going to do, I'm going to share information to men and women to help them get better results than even I had. I don't like to see us arguing and bickering and never coming to a conclusion, and always, sometimes I feel like we just hate each other. And as a black man, that bothers me because I'm trying to figure out who my enemy is at this point. But I know who my enemy was. The enemy was the person I look in the mirror at every day. That was me. And in my 20s and early 30s, I did not understand that, but I do now. And even though you could say, well, what? My job is to help you. And I got a passion for doing it. And so I hopefully, is there an opportunity to reconnect with her there? Nah. No. Absolutely not. She's gone on. She even has a couple of children out here, I think. No, so no. That the person that she became would have been very, and I don't like to use the word, but that's toxic. We absolutely should not have ever rekindled. I still, we remain friends, I guess, and I'm amazed that she would even want to do that because the way I did her, you name it. You name it. I was on it, I mean, and then it became a back and forth, tit for tat stuff. And that shows the level of maturity when you ticking for tacking. I do this, so I'm going to do this, and I'm do this, and I'm going to do that. And the worst thing that can happen is when you start to get into that. And ladies, I don't think you should get into that because unfortunately in this world, the more bodies you rack up, the less valuable you are. Y'all typically don't care what we do. Y'all don't really, men were not chosen for our ability to be for our chastity. You're not choosing us for that. In this society, in this world, women, what you have is more valuable to us, which is why I say you need to wait for marriage because the more bodies you put on yourself, the less valuable you are to the men that you think you want because we pay attention to that. We don't like high body counts. We just don't. We don't. We don't like high body counts. That's just something we just don't vibe with. Because if I'm where I'm at in life right now, the people that I'm meeting and the connections that I have right now, I can't have somebody on my show that all of them had and none of them stayed with. You were just fun. And then I bring you into this situation, it diminishes my value with my collective. And if I'm trying to go to the next level, who you are with is a direct representation of who you are. That's why I say the sex thing, we don't dig into it too much because it does have some lasting ramifications that we don't want to delve into. Until now. And I don't mind admitting that I was a piece of shit. I still grow now. Still some things in my head that I think about and I'll be like, nah, I shouldn't do that. I'm not perfect. I'm not. But I'm much better now. I'm healed from all of that. I've learned not to take, that's why I said so strongly and passionately that you should not take something to the next situation because you could damage that man, you could damage that woman. So, but I'm much, much better now. I'm more focused, more and more focused now. So I hope you guys enjoyed my show. I hope you enjoyed it. This is what we do on Mondays. We talk about this stuff and we dig deep sometimes, pause. And those of you who watch my show, you guys, you can attest to that. And I'm glad that you were here. Look, it's after 11 o'clock and you guys could have been anywhere and you're here with me. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys. I do love you. And I try to share, some things that help us grow together because that's my hope is that we grow together. You teach me and I teach you. I learn from my female friends that actually in my inbox and they send me, we discuss a lot of things. Rosie actually does it. Trina does it. Of course, Tammy does it. And a few of you, Natalie does it. And hopefully some of you new ones that are watching that you send me, let's talk about some things you want to discuss. You want to hear from a male perspective. then this is the place you want to be. And I'm not necessarily trying to grow this thing into be something major. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it doesn't. I do this for fun, and I do this to help you and to help each other. And I do love you, okay? So I'm going to jump off of here. You know, I haven't even eaten. Should I eat something this late? As long as you reach completion and maturity, that's the definition of perfection. Thank you so much, Scrutinize. I appreciate that. I receive. I actually got some people on my that watch this that actually are preachers and stuff like that. And believe it or not, a lot of them watch me. And I go out of town, they be like, man, I watch your lives. And I'm going to say this. A lot of men are scared to speak, ladies. It's not that they are cowards, but they can't say what I say. And to have the support that I have from my friends and from Tammy and all these other people, you know, they are scared to speak. And so some of us have chosen to speak for you. But eventually, fellas, you got to speak. Your woman needs to hear from you. Don't do it nasty. Don't do it, you know, and get in her face. You don't have to be aggressive. Talk to her. She loves you. Talk to her. Make her understand where you're coming from. Do it in a very, very calm manner. Always tell her you love her. Start with that first. And don't make it disingenuous. You really love her. You should have shown her that you loved her at this point anyway. But tell her you love her. Express yourself. Tell her what's going on with in you. If she's a good woman like they all claim to be, then she will listen and y'all will work towards a more perfected relationship or whatever, or a friendship. You know, every relationship may not end in marriage, but at least there will be some kind of respect. If she says, I cannot do that, and then you say, well, you know, we need to part our ways, then it happens. Never be afraid to say we need to part our own ways. If it's that toxic, maybe you should leave. Okay? But anyway, do I need to eat this late? I think I should. I'm going to eat something. I'll probably get some fruit. I can't tell y'all to be disciplined, not eat a hamburger at 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to play some music today. I think I'm going to play my song. I do like my song. I'm not going to play Kevin Samuel. Anyway, next week, next Monday, I go live. I got a good topic for you next Monday. It's going to be very, very good. I'm going to let it be a surprise. I'll probably post a little video of it, but I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to eat something. But I love you guys. Take care. I love you much. Peace. I'm out.
Don't go.